One of my favorite pieces of furniture in a home is an ottoman because it is so versatile. You can use it anywhere. It can serve as an extra seating in a living room. It can also be a side table next to your chair in a reading corner, or simply keeping one under the console table in a foyer creates a welcoming feel. Rather than to buy a brand new ottoman, I really want to go creative to slipcover my old ottoman with a small rug. Let me show you the rug I bought for this project. I like the simple design and a neutral palette, and this rug measures 3 by 5, so one rug is enough to cover the entire ottoman, so it's going to be very affordable. There is only one measurement I need to take, which is the width as indicated by the green arrow here. And there is no need to add allowance. I know this may sound weird, but I like to give it a tight fit which will look more tailored when it's finished. Then I'll line up this width on the rug and cut across the entire length. The remaining section will be divided into 2 halves, and let's call it panel A and B. If you look at the pattern, the panels A and B will fit into the 2 sides of the main body. Before I go ahead to attach all the pieces together, an extra step has to be done to prevent the raw edges from fraying, and it is called overlocking. I sew a line of stitching about 3/4 inch away from the edge, and then to further reinforce it, I hand sew the edge with blanket stitch using crochet thread. Not only does the blanket stitch overlock the raw edges, it gives a decorative finish, and also it matches the original binding of the rug. Now I'm ready to lay the main body over the ottoman. As you can see, it covers the side, the top, and the other side panel. And notice that I'm keeping the excess fabric uncut, and they will be turned to the bottom later. Place the panels A and B and pin them to the top section of the main body. Line up the stripes if yours is a patterned rug like mine. And then find the top right corner. Keeping 2 layers together, we're going to hand sew a line of stitching running from the top right corner to the top left corner and leaving the vertical edges free, and using an embroidery stitch called back stitching. Now we're in the stage of working on vertical seams, and let's begin with the side without excess fabric. Let's hand sew the vertical seam by backstitching from the top corner all the way to the floor level and leaving the flaps free to be tucked to the underside. Now I come to work on the side that has excess fabric. And the first thing to do is to cut out the corner to remove the bulk so that nothing is in the way when the flaps are turned to the underside, and do the same to the other corner as well. Then I turn the excess fabric to the underside and making a fold and hold it together with a line of base stitches. And this folded edge will become the side seam to be attached to the main body. And again, this line of stitching should end at the bottom corner, leaving the excess fabric free so that it can be flipped underneath. Now let's take a look of the underside of the ottoman. The 2 flaps I'm lifting are the 2 ends of the main body, which runs from the side over the top and to the other side. Here I sew the elastic to underneath the flap, and then I attach Velcro to the other end of the elastic, so I can just stretch the elastic and tape the Velcro to close. Remember I said earlier that to sew the vertical seam down to the bottom corner, but not all the way to the end, so you can see here, each flap is free to turn to the underside easily. Since I ran out the 3-inch elastic, I used a 1-inch elastic, which holds the flaps in place just as well. One trick to mention is to cut a larger piece of the Velcro off the fuzzy side than the rough side, and you'll find it easier to locate the other piece. It's time to take a close-up of the final product. I have to say it is a very enjoyable process, even though it does take some time to make one. But once it comes to completion, it is so satisfying to see that I can make something out from my own hands to create something new. And I hope you'll make one for yourself.